Hey boys and girls, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about this guy, the 130XE, and more specifically, the mechanical keyboard that I put on it. Now you guys saw this in a prior video, and I told you I was going to make a video about it and talk to you about it, and that's exactly what we're going to do in tonight's video. So let's talk about the 130 Decent keyboard. That's what this is called. This is called the 130XE Decent keyboard. Now, little background on this product. It was created by a gentleman by the name of Bertrand Leroy. Now, he's also known on AtariAge by his user Screaming at the Radio. Flavorful name, I love it. Now, I'm going to be providing links in the description, obviously, where you can contact Bertrand to order one of these keyboards. He is offering them as a kit. We'll talk about that in a second. And I'll also include the thread on AtariAge where everybody's talking about it and everybody's having discussions about how they're customizing it and putting custom keycaps in different colors and all that good stuff. And everything you'll need will be in the description. And now, these keyboards are being made to order. In other words, you contact him directly, you arrange for payment, and then he will actually build the keyboard for you and mail it to you. So it could take, you know, several weeks before you actually get the keyboard, but believe me, it's well worth it. All right, so there's basically two versions of this keyboard. There's what's called, the first one is called the modern version. That's the one that I have. Okay, this is called the modern version, and the reason it's called the modern version is because the keycaps, the keys, are actually new keys. Okay, and I'll explain why they're new. But anyway, they're new, and they're white, and they're beautiful, and you can tell it's a new keyboard, okay? That's called the modern version, and it also comes with newer switches, which we'll talk about. That's the modern version. Now, he's also offering what's called the vintage version. Now, the vintage version is actually going to use your existing Atari 130XE keyboard caps, or you're going to have to scavenge them from another keyboard, okay? So the way that works is, as we'll talk about in a little bit, it uses a little bit lower profile switch and an adapter that allows the original Atari keycaps to work on the keyboard. So if you want to keep the original stock, bone stock look of the keyboard, you can do it and still have the mechanical keyboard with backlighting, mind you. So the modern version of the keyboard, the cost is $299 plus shipping. $299 plus shipping. That's a pre-assembled keyboard. You get it, plug it in, almost just plug it in, and you're ready to go. The vintage version pre-built is $179 plus shipping. Okay, so that's the two main versions. Now you can also get each version as a kit. So you can get the modern version as a kit for $240 plus shipping, and you can get the vintage version as a kit for $120 plus shipping. So if you decide you want to build this keyboard yourself, you can save yourself a little bit of change, but it's not for the faint at heart, okay? Keep in mind there's a lot of soldering here. There's, I think, 62 switches that have to be soldered, or 62 components that have to be soldered. And most of those components are tiny SMD components. They're very small, so it's going to require a special magnifying glass if you don't have great eyes. It's not for the faint of heart, like I said. So unless you're an expert soldering person and you like to do soldering jobs, you probably want to buy this thing pre-made. Now, the approach that he took is open source, okay? So there's a Github project, and all of the source files for the PCB, the parts list, the instructions, photographs, it's all in GitHub. I'll have the link down below. So you can build your own keyboard, like you said, but it's more or less, since this is an open source project, this could easily be adapted to other vintage computers. And that's the really exciting thing about this project, is the fact that we're going to have people out there that are going to take this project, they're going to expound upon it, they're going to modify it, they're going to create new boards, probably for any old vintage computer. Like there's a rumor that they're already working on, Bertrand and maybe some other people that he knows are working on XL, 800XL, 600XL replacement keyboards, which is really cool. So you're encouraged, the fact that it's listed under the open source license, to go ahead and build your own keyboard and reproduce it. Now, there's another piece of hardware that he's designed, which is a USB adapter that allows you to take this keyboard assembled and connect it to a regular PC through a USB cable and actually use the Atari emulation either through Altera or the Atari Mac emulator for the Mac. I think it's called Atari Mac 8 or something like that, Atari Mac X. So you can have this actual mechanical keyboard and use it with the emulator and give it a more authentic look and feel, I guess, if you will. I guess that was the intention behind it. So anyway, quick shout out to Jesse Warford. Jesse's a viewer of the channel, and he actually donated this keyboard that I have to the channel, and that's the keyboard that I'm using. So thanks, Jesse, for that. And I think that's it as far as that goes on the project. Now, let's talk about the details. This design features a single unified PCB with a switch footprint that can accommodate 4 different kinds of switches, okay? It's a 2-layer PCB. It's got surface mount diodes, LEDs, resistors, and the connectors. So it's real low profile, very slick, okay? And like I said earlier, it's probably best that you have the facility assemble these in-house and solder these components to it. I don't think anybody out there wants to solder these components. 62 of them, you know, very tiny components by hand. I don't think anybody wants to. I know I don't want to do it. I'm a pretty good soldering person, I think. I've been doing electronics since I was a kid, but I really don't want to assemble this myself. So, you know, just food for thought. Like I said, the files are available online at the GitHub. Okay, we already talked about that. So let's talk about the switches. MX mechanical switches, Kale chalk switches, Gatoron low profile switches, and Red Dragon low profile. So I guess the idea is when you're using the modern style, you can use the MX mechanical or the Kale chalk. If you're going to be using your original keycaps in the vintage style or the vintage you know, design, you're going to want to use the low profile switches. I think that's the idea behind it. Now, the console switches, the 5 console switches, the help, the start, the select, the option, and the reset key, those require low profile switches, okay? And by the way, those console keys can either be 3D printed and painted, or you can use the original keys with adapters. Now, on this keyboard that I have here, you can see that I've got, you know, new keycaps for the keyboard, but you can see up here closely on the, let me see if I can get that to focus in on these keys right here, the function keys, okay? Those are actually 3D printed, okay? They still look good in my opinion, okay? And they're not painted. They're with a, some kind of special gray paint. So I think they look great. So I opted, the keyboard that I was sent had those, and I think they look fine. You do what you need. Now, just some notes on the 3D printing. If you're going to try and 3D print these keys yourself, it is going to require a resin printer with a resolution of 50 micrometers, okay? That's 1/20th of a millimeter, or better. Obviously, that's for the precision of these small parts, okay? Like I said before, we've got surface-mounted LEDs for the backlighting. You saw in the introduction of the video, it's got backlighting, which is really, really nice. And, yeah. So that's the switches. Now, the original Atari keyboard, okay, the way that it's connected to the motherboard is with like a Mylar, okay, Mylar. Actually, the entire membrane for the keyboard is a Mylar membrane, and the connection is just an extension of that Mylar membrane. It goes directly into a connector into the Atari keyboard. Now, the keyboard, when you order it, comes with a small adapter, and it's a much smaller ribbon cable. That adapter will fit in the keyboard, stock keyboard connector of the Atari 130XE. You can just pop it right in and not have to touch your motherboard. In my experience, though, the keyboard does not sit flush properly inside the case, okay? What I suggest that you do is you remove that connector or have it removed from your motherboard and put in a 24-pin header style connector, which you can then take the adapter and solder flat onto that piece. And what that allows it to do is it allows that connector to sit more flush towards the main motherboard of the Atari. And then when you plug the new keyboard in, you've got plenty of clearance for the keyboard to set in there nicely, and then for the cover of the 130XE to go down. I'll show you that if I didn't already show that to you on the video. And that is probably in my opinion, it offers more clearance and flexibility. So I would definitely advise that you do that. So again, the modern version of the keyboard uses all new keycaps, and the vintage uses the original. Now, according to the creator of this project, there's someone who goes by the name XL Freak. Don't know who you are. It's a nice name. But apparently XL Freak is working on new caps in the style of the old Atari caps that can be produced in small quantities. And they will not require the adapter. So when you're using the vintage keyboard, if you're using your original keycaps, there's a small adapter that goes in between the switch and the keycap to make it work. Apparently XL Freak is going to be manufacturing or producing in small quantities keycaps that mimic the original Atari keyboard without the adapter. So that's going to be cool. All right. I'm also going to create in the description of the video some links to other videos. There was one video, FlashJazzCat, also known as Jonathan Holliday. He did a video recently where he mentioned this keyboard, and he shows this keyboard going into a 130XE that he's upgrading. But I'm also going to include links to some other videos, including the original creator of the keyboard has a couple videos where he talks about how he designed it, where he got the ideas from, and it's cool to see the progressions that he took to get to the revision that he's at right now, which I believe is revision 13. So go out there and check those videos out and see how this project began and where it is today, the state of it today. All right? So there you have it, the 130XE keyboard, mechanical in nature. It's amazing. I love it. It's almost like typing on a modern keyboard. I love it. Now, there's also, I want to mention that the keyboard has some of the keys that have been relocated, okay? The control key is down here now. The break key is now to the left of the spacebar. And by the way, this is a narrower spacebar than the original Atari keyboard, all right? And you can also notice that we've got an oversized return key here, which is nice for pressing the return key. So it may take you a little getting used to if you're used to typing on the stock 130XE keyboard, but it didn't take me long to get used to this. And, a lot of people that are using Atari these days and that are doing programming, they're doing a lot of the programming on an emulator. They're writing stuff in C, or they're compiling with C65. And I get it, that's fine. But in my opinion, there's nothing like typing on this original keyboard, especially now that we've got the mechanical keyboard. There's just nothing like using the original hardware to go in there, use DOS, play your games, write some basic programs, assembly language programs, and what have you. I personally like using the keyboard. I like using the original hardware, but that's just me. Guys, order your keyboard. Upgrade your Atari. Hopefully we'll have one coming for the 800, 800XL, 600XL, 65XE. And that's actually a good question. Does anybody out there know if the keyboard on the 130XE is the same as the 65XE? I don't have a 65XE. I'd like to have one. But leave a comment below if you know if the keyboards are interchangeable or if they're the same profile, the same size, because maybe we can use the same keyboard on the Atari 65XE. Well, anyway, that's all I got for you today. Thanks, guys, for subscribing and watching the videos. And I want to give a big shout out to the latest members that have joined the channel. If you'd like to support the channel and help me grow the channel and help me build the channel out like I'd like to, go ahead and join. It's 99 cents a month. It's cheaper than a bad cup of coffee, and it would help me tremendously. Also like and subscribe, like I said below. That helps get the word out about the channel. And I'm going to be doing a lot of more videos this year in all kinds of subjects, not just limited to the Atari, but I got some surprises. So stay tuned. I love you guys. Appreciate it. See you in the next video. Peace.